Sorry, we got held up in some traffic. Couldn't make it in time. We already had Jai Radha Madhav, wasn't it? Let's start straight. Anything in particular to speak about? Anything in particular you want to hear about? You want me to discuss anything in particular? Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunnilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutatakalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanischa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pavam Sahagana Lalita Shri Shakham Vitamscha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So I'm so happy to be back here in Radha Landaneshwar temple. I came here about 2 years ago and we can see a lot of changes are happening. Wonderful changes. And it's nice to see so many new faces. It's also nice to see old faces. It shouldn't be that we only see new faces all the time. And what happens to the old faces? So the old faces must also be there. So right in the heart of London, we have Krishna consciousness flourishing, thriving, an amazing sight, something unbelievable just a century ago, or even 50 years ago. Inconceivable. Who could have thought? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the great Acharya, had prayed, when will that day come when High Court judges will wear tilak when they sit in the court? When will the day come when Europeans and Americans will come to Mayapur and dance in Kirtan saying Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur's desire and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction, they are coming true. In a place where otherwise we would think Krishna consciousness is the last thing that can happen. In a place where anything goes and anything comes. In such a place where there is a gathering of devotees speaking about pure life is such a miracle. I was just commenting to the devotees as we were coming here in the car and as we were observing the roads as we were moving on, that there seems to be a severe crisis in England. Crisis, I think, a shortage of cloth. I think cloth is being rationed out. I think like in times of famine, you have, each family gets so many grams of grains and per week. So I think here there's a rationing of cloth. So they're really frugal when it comes to wasting cloth. Make sure they don't waste cloth. So culture is such a thing that's distant. It's a distant thing to the modern world. The modern world is encouraging the dream of sense gratification more and more. We want to live the good dream. We don't want to wake up from it. But we don't realize that one day the dream will be rudely shattered. It's going to turn into a nightmare. It's a living nightmare actually. Everywhere. From the point of view of the Bhagavad Gita, we understand that this is all illusory. It gives us an appearance of being real. Everything seems real, the sounds, the objects, the names, the forms, everything is moving, and we think this is real, this is reality. But not so. It's only one big dream world. We are living one big dream. So one little story comes to mind. There was one king, and one day he had a dream that he was a butterfly. And he was hopping from flower to flower, nice little garden, and he was enjoying it. And then suddenly he woke up. And the dream had been so real for him that he began to think deeply about that dream. And in the morning he summoned all his ministers. And he said, okay, now I'm going to ask you all a very important question. And if you do not answer it, off with your head. You know that kings are temperamental by nature, you know? And you can't afford to displease them. And they come up with whimsical ideas at times. So, but what can you say to a king? So he said, you have to give me the answer. So they were all prepared. Usually they were accustomed to being asked questions of economics and diplomacy and military warfare and so on. Then the king said, I had a dream in which I saw that I was a butterfly. And it was very, very real. Now I want to ask you this important question. Am I a king who was dreaming that he was a butterfly? Or what? Am I the butterfly who is dreaming that he's a king? Both are very real. So tell me, if you don't give me the correct answer, off with your head. The ministers were scratching their heads. My God, what a question. They never thought of such a thing. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you that question, and don't answer in a hurry, otherwise. So, any answers? Raise your hands. Think carefully before you answer. Who would like to hazard an answer?